Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, June 30th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's edition of AEW Collision broadcast on TNT and featuring matches taped Wednesday at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo. In the closing segment, International Champion Will Ospreay and AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland clash during a weigh-in ahead of their world title match tonight at Forbidden Door.
And as a businessman, how about I handle more business, like offering your wife a contract like you.
Oh! Now things getting very heated, understandably so.
Champion took a cheap shot there.
Kyle Fletcher, AEW Security, trying to keep Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland removed from the fray. Nigel, I don't want to even think about the situation it would be. The hidden blade! Swerve Strickland just got wiped out!
In the main event, the 6 men in the Forbidden Door ladder match for the vacant TNT Championship squared off with El Phantasmo, Jack Perry, and Konosuke Takeshita defeating Dante Martin, Leo Rush, and Mark Briscoe. In a quarterfinal for the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Women's Tournament, Hikaru Shida beat Deonna Purrazzo. Shida is scheduled to face the winner of Mariah May against Saraya in the semifinals. In other selected results, Daniel Garcia defeated The Butcher, Heshicero defeated Kevin Blackwood, Stephanie Vacker defeated Lady Frost in Vacker's AEW debut, and Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii defeated Robbie Eagles and Shane Haste of TMDK. In more AEW news, Chris Jericho made a surprise appearance Friday night at a CMLL show at Arena Mexico, appearing under the name Corazon de Leon, which he used while competing in CMLL in the early 1990s. Jericho sneak attacked Mystico before cutting a promo in Spanish, declaring himself the greatest of all time. Jericho issued a challenge to Mystico for a future match at Arena Mexico, which Mystico accepted. Also at Arena Mexico Friday night, Kyle Fletcher was defeated for the Ring of Honor World Television title by CMLL's Atlantis Jr. in 19 minutes and 54 seconds. The loss ends Fletcher's reign at 196 days. This is the first championship of an American promotion that Atlantis Jr. has ever won. And turning to Japan, Stardom ran at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo on Saturday, presenting 3 title matches. In the main events, Yuri and Konami became the new Goddesses of Stardom Tag Team Champions, knocking off the incumbents Hazuki and Koguma. Rina retained her Future of Stardom title, wrestling Nanami to a 15-minute draw, and Saya Kamitani retained the High Speed title by quickly dispatching a Fukigen Death. The win comes one day after the merger of Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling was finalized, with Stardom becoming an official subsidiary of New Japan. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.